Hello，各位家长，大家好，早上好，晚上好。感谢大家继续关注由英 America 在美教育主办的第4届K-12私立名校展。因为早上呢，我们也是有3个不同的学校来参加我们今天的展会哈，所以呢，因为时间的原因呢，虽然我知道有些家长可能还在陆续的进入到我们的讲座当中来哈，但是我们还是按照我们的时间准时开始。那么今天呢，是我们整个校展的第2天，也同样是分为上午和晚上的2场哈。昨天呢，我们在微信群里也有做相关的预告，我们一共有6所学校进行分享。那么上午的3所学校呢，分别是来自于新泽西的顶尖寄宿学校 Blair Academy 和位于纽约的顶尖走读学校 Horaceman， 还有位于纽约的顶尖寄宿学校Masters School 哈。那么我们先开始进行分享的是 Blair Academy。那么相信呢，很多家长对这所学校也是有一个比较多的了解。那么它是位于新泽西的北部哈，距离曼哈顿1个小时左右的一个行程。它是一所呢男女混合寄宿学校。今天邀请到的呢是学校的招生官Chase Polanka 先生呢跟大家分享。Hi, good morning, Mr. Polanka.
Hi, good morning, Cindy. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah. Thank
Excited
you
to be
for
here.
joining. Yeah. Yeah. It looks perfect weather today outside. So thank you for joining us and spending time to, share about Blair. So I will be the host and the translator for your presentation today. So our
Okay.
audience are very excited to learn more about your school in the next 15 minutes. So in the presentation, some parents might, ask questions in our chat room, but we usually leave it to the end to answer all the questions. So we just wanted to keep the flow of your presentation. So you can stop anytime you feel comfortable, then I will translate to Chinese just to make sure, all the audience in our event today can have a clear and all the good information about Blair.
Welcome, everybody. I guess good evening for you all. My name is Chase Polanka. I'm an admission associate here at Blair Academy. This is my 2nd year working at Blair in the admissions office, but really my 6th year here because I was a student here for 4 years and graduated in 2015. So glad to be back here.
That's wonderful. 对，刚刚呢，我在前面也介绍了哈，我们今天过来分享的呢，老师呢，他刚才也介绍说，他是在学校的这个招生工作是2年，但是因为他之前也是学校的学生哈，所以说我一共是在学校有待了6年这样的一个时间哈，我觉得的确是对学校有很多爱哈，不然毕业了不会再返回学校来做这个工作。Thank you.
So here is just a picture of our campus. This was actually taken by our Blair Academy Drone Club. And so you see, a lot of the old stone architecture here, a lot of the green spaces here. This is our quad. And then up here in this area, you can see downtown Blairstown. So, we're right in the middle of Blairstown, New Jersey, which is a small town, but it's, there's a lot right off campus that students have access to.
Yeah, I've been there. I think it's a beautiful town. It's very quiet, but you have access to the restaurant, in the neighborhood. I think that's great. 刚刚跟大家看到这个图片呢，就是学校的一个鸟瞰图的。刚刚老师也说，也是他们学校的这种无人机俱乐部的这个学生去这个拍的这个照片哈，大家能看到这个整个是学校的校园，在边上呢是附近的一个小镇哈，也是非常安静，但是周边的社区环境非常非常好，并且还有非常多的这个餐厅哈，学生就是你去这个附近去吃一些不同的餐呀，都是比较方便的哈。
And so here, just, some of the short facts about us. We're about an hour from New York City, 60 minutes to Newark Airport. So that's the main airport that we use for our students to arrive and leave from campus. 90 minutes from JFK and LaGuardia. Our student population, we have about 465 students. 82% are boarding, 18% are day students from the local area. Students from 28 countries and 24 states. So really, 18% of our students are international. So really bringing people from all over the world and all over the United States together on our little to our little small town here in Blairstown. Our endowment is $145 million this year, and we had a 15% acceptance rate this past admission season, which is our lowest acceptance rate yet. We had over 1,550 applications, which is a new high for us, and that's very exciting.
哦，sure，那么学校刚刚老师也介绍了学校大概的地理位置哈，那么前面我也说了1个小时到纽约，所以我觉得这个位置非常好，你又有安静学习的环境，但是你去市里也很方便。那么去纽瓦克国际机场哈是60分钟，这国内在疫情以前都是有直飞的航班，非常方便。那么90分钟到这 JFK 也是国际机场。然后呢，现在学校有465个学生，82%是寄宿哈，其他的是走读。那么学生也非常多元化哈，来自于这个超过28个这个国家和它这个国内有24个州这样子哈。那么18%呢是国际学生学校这边呢。其实寄宿学校这边能够展示学校实力的，也是要看他们每年学校的一个捐赠的这个金额哈。他说他今年应该是他的捐赠的这个金额达到了1.45亿哈，这个数字还是非常非常多的。那么去年的上一个申请季度呢，学校这边整体的这个申请录取率是15%左右哈，这个也是在历年的一个新低了哈。就是这个录取率比较低，所以呢，因为也是这个整体哈，我觉得寄宿学校这边或者私立学校这边美国这2年这个本土的学生申的也比较多，然后国际学生的需求也比较大哈，也是导致了这样一个录取率会就是逐年就是比较低的这样的一个情况哈。可能今年的这个录取率的这个录取的这个竞争力还是竞争还是非常非常激烈的哈。
Thank you. And so Blair's focus here, we have 3 main pillars, our student-centered philosophy, relationship-based learning, and warmth and rigor. And so our student-centered philosophy, so every decision that we make here at Blair Academy is with the students in mind. And whether that's the spaces that we create here on campus, whether that's the classes we offer, all of that is thinking about what's best for our students, what's going to help them thrive, and what's going to help them make them feel the most comfortable here on our campus. Relationship-based learning, and that goes hand in hand with the student-centered philosophy. So, really getting to know our students, know each student for who they are and who they want to be is really important to us. And that is evident in our classrooms, in our discussion-based classes, and our sports. All of our students are required to do sports or afternoon activities. And even afterwards in our dorm life and our weekend activities, all of that is in an effort to get to know our students, get to know them a little bit better, and figure out how best we can serve them. And then warmth and rigor. So, we're balancing this student-centered philosophy, this relationship-based learning. We want people to feel comfortable here and feel like Blair is a home away from home. But we also obviously need to have the rigor of a strong educational institution. And so, we do offer some pretty high level courses here. We offer a couple new programs that I'm going to highlight in this presentation that are unique from most other boarding schools, and that allow us to stand out and allow our students to stand out, especially, when it comes time for the college process and making sure that they that they're getting ahead of other students when it comes to applying to schools.
那么对于 Blair 来讲呢，学校是有3个就是教育这个中心哈。那么其中一个呢，就是以学生为中心。老师刚才也提到了，包括学校各方面的课程设置呀，甚至学校的这个校园的一些空间的利用哈，都是以学生的这个需求去为主的哈。那么这个是学校非常重要的一个方面哈。以学生为中心，另外一个呢，就是他们也非常注重学生之间的，就是整体社区之间的这种关系哈。因为我之前也是去 Blair 这边参访过多次哈，包括我们的家长陪同我们家长去参访校园，大家的统一感受就是真的是一个非常紧密的一个社区我觉得这种感受是非常非常重要的。那 老师刚才也提到了，像这个他们既要希望是创造一个非常温暖的一个社区啊，每个学生都能在这个校园学习的时候感受到说这是我的一个家的感觉。那么同时呢，学校还非常非常的注重这个学术的就是这种挑战性哈。那么老师也是说，接下来呢会跟大家再去分享一下，就是学校一些比较特殊的一个项目，特别是在学术这边，因为他们也希望从Blair毕业的这个学生，在将来进入到大学这个阶段，他自己会更有这样的一个竞争力哈。所以呢，这整个3个中心学生这个社区的这种关系，还有另外呢就是学术和这种社区都是融合在一起。这3个呢是对于学校来讲非常重要的3个中心所环绕的一个3个中心去帮助到学生，然后去更好的去在 Blair 去成长和学习。
Great. So our academics here, just a broad overview, about 175 total courses, 52 advanced placement honors and post AP classes, extensive elective offerings. So, we really allow our students to be able to choose what courses they want to study. And these are just some examples here: engineering, constitutional law, marine biology. Those are all, pretty unique courses, I think, that we offer here and allow our students to study beyond just the normal, math, English, history, science, and really get to explore things that they're interested in and possible fields that they can go into going forward. We have travel opportunities to Africa, Europe, Asia, really all over the world. I'll talk a little bit about some of our spring break trips in a little bit. And we have an SAT prep course as well that students can take here on campus so that they're ready junior, senior year to be able to take that test.
Wonderful. So about the post AP class, so is there like what is the difference between AP? Maybe you wanted to kind of like
Yeah, sure. So post AP classes sort of go beyond the AP curriculum that we offer. And so, there's some math courses that are higher level than whatever the calculus that's offered or the statistics that's offered.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. It seems like a very, extensive course, selection for them, for the student. 对，老师刚刚也着重的去说了一下学术这边哈，我觉得肯定对于一个学校来讲，学术是非常重要的哈。学校这边超过有大概是175门这样的一个课程的安排，可以供学生来选择。那么其中呢，包括52门的这个 AP 课程，还有包括刚刚说的荣誉课程，还有一些比 AP 的难度更高的一些课程，像包括一些数学类的哈，针对于学生的需求。那么学校课程设置是非常丰富的，当然呢，选修课程也非常非常的多。学校这边也罗列了一些，包括这个法律宪法方面的，然后呢，engineering 也就是这个不好意思啊，有的时候我这一翻译成中文，我就有时候这个词呢，我就翻译不过来了。工程类的老卡壳哈，工程类的，还有呢海洋生物，然后这个经济学类的，还有像包括刚才这个也是我觉得可能对于现在的新一代的学生来讲非常重要的，像这种机器人呐，然后呢还有这个智能科技这方面的哈。当然呢，学校这边也非常非常多的这种旅行的一个机会给到学生，包括去这个欧洲呀、亚洲呀，还有非洲这些地方的一些这个旅行的一些机会哈。当然，学校这边呢也提供 SAT 的这个辅导哈。这些课程呢，对于学生将来去申请大学还是非常非常这个重要的哈。学校这边会有这样的安排给学生。
And so here's just a couple examples of our classrooms. You can see the round tables, very discussion based. You can't really hide in the back of the classroom here. You can be called on by the teacher at any point, but in a lot of cases, our teachers don't talk too much in classes. It's really up to the students to kind of create the discussion and you know, come into class with questions and be prepared to talk to each other and sort of make the learning together as a group.
嗯。刚刚大家也看到学校的这个教室哈，基本上都是这种讨论形式的哈，圆桌的一个讨论形式。所以说在课堂上，老师其实讲的是比较少的，更多的是学生来参与到这个上课的这种环节当中去进行讨论哈。这个我觉得是对于也是非常好的锻炼学生的这种独立思考哈，然后呢批判性思维的一个教学的一个方式。
And so now I'm just going to run through a couple aspects of Blair that I think are kind of unique to us. And so the first one is our school meetings. And so these are twice a week meetings that our entire school comes together in our Armstrong Hipkins Theater. And people make announcements. It's, you know, often students get on stage and make announcements about their sports teams, about clubs. There's weekend activities. And so usually our Monday school meetings are run by our associate head of school, Mr. Pagato, and our Friday school meetings are run by our senior class council, and they plan the whole thing. And so it's a nice way to end the week with a little bit of energy and fun. They often do a video or a skit just to kind of get people excited for the weekend and to wrap up the week. So here's a picture of our theater space. So you can see pretty packed in here. All of our students there together in our theater.
嗯哼。那么学校这边呢，其实有非常多的比较特别的一些项目和设置哈。那么首先呢，是学校的这个全校的这种就是聚会哈，就是说会议哈，它其实每周是2次，一个是周一，一个是周五。那么周一呢，会由学校的校长来去主持哈。那么会有很多学校的一些新闻呐，还有一些项目的一些这个就是新的信息的一些给到学生一些发布哈。那么周五呢，会是学校的就是高年级的学生会来主持。那么他们也是会分享一些学校的各方面的信息哈。其实这样的一个活动，1周2次也是非常好的，去建立学校社区这种氛围的一个很重要的一个途径。
And the next is our dual advisor system. So here at Blair, every student receives 2 advisors. So the first is their academic monitor, and that person is assigned to them right when they get on campus. And that person is in charge of kind of the nitty gritty details, you know, making sure they're on top of their classes, making sure they've picked the right sport, making sure that they're in the right level of classes. And so, you know, they're in charge of the more academic side of their life here at Blair. And then every student also has a faculty advisor, and that person is someone who they choose. So for new students, they get a couple weeks at the beginning of the year to sort of get to know the faculty, and then eventually they can ask faculty to be their advisor. And that person's there sort of more for moral support, for help, you know, with their personal lives or also with their you know, their academic lives and every aspect of their life really here at Blair. And so, you know, oftentimes you'll see students arrive at their faculty's apartment for pancakes, or, you know, if a student has a bad day and they say, I just need to get off of campus and have a milkshake, their faculty advisor is that person they can go to in that situation. And so here we just have an example of a student, their faculty advisor, you know, just spending time with them and their family. And you really get to know them, you know, beyond just a person working here at Blair. You get to know them as a person with a family, as a person with their own lives, and really get to be a part of their lives, which is pretty cool.
嗯哼。那么另外一个呢，比较独特的项目就是双导师的一个项目哈。那么每一个学生到达学校以后呢，首先呢，你会有一个学术方面的这个导师，他会帮助你进行你的课程安排，然后你在学习方面的方方面面的细节哈。那么包括就是你的这个是不是你上课这边能不能跟得上哈，学术相关的所有的事宜。那么另外呢，除了这个学术以外呢，会有一个生活方面的导师，也是学校的职工去，就是在学校工作的老师去担任这个职责哈。那这个我觉得比较有意思，它并不是说你被分配这个生活上面的导师，并不是 你被分配，学生就是学校给你分配一个老师，而是说学生到了学校园以后，你在这个几周的时间内对学校老师有一个熟悉的情况，你可以选择这个老师成为你的生活辅导老师。生活辅导老师呢，主要是就是对你就是起到一个生活方面各方面的一个支持哈。你可能有一些这个学习以外的哈，想家啦，或者是说你想去校园周边去参加一些活动呀，或者这方面的哈，都是这个老师会帮助你去做相应的安排。而且呢，就是这个生活上的老师，其实不单是一个学校的工作人员，他更多的就是说跟这个学生能够在这个过程当中建立一个非常深入的一个关系哈。就是大家也看到，这是一个学生跟他的这个生活导师在一起就很亲密，大家可能对彼此的了解非常非常的多哈。我觉得这个是非常好的，对于寄宿学生来讲。一个非常好的一个社区，能够得到非常好的这些支持，学术和生活各个方面。
The next is our Center for Innovation and Collaboration. And so this is a space that was built, I believe, 2017. So I'm a little jealous because when I was a student at Blair, we didn't have this. It came right after I graduated. But here's the space from the outside. And looking in, you can see this is the forum space. And so this is a great meeting space for our students. All of these chairs are movable, and so students are often working together in groups in this space. We also hold our Society of Skeptics lectures here, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But this is a great meeting space for our students. They can have these larger group talks here, and then they can also split off into these smaller groups. So there's a panel going on in the forum as well. You can see a lot of natural light in the room. We host several of our STEM related classes here. So this is one of our computer labs. So if students are taking some kind of programming class, they usually have it in this space. This is robotic surgery that one of our skeptic speakers brought to campus, and our students were able to interact with these machines. And you can see sort of the work that they're doing here, very precise. Very cool that our students were able to partake in that. We also have our maker space in this building. And so it's right here. There's a couple 3D printers, a t-shirt press, there's laser engraving machines. And so, the more creative students are able to use this space at any time and make something out of whatever they have lying around. This is our art studios are also in this space. So here's our ceramic studio. You see a couple students working on some pots here. Ready to go into the kiln. Our robotics classes are in this building, and we offer both robotics as a course at Blair, an elective course that students can take. And then we also have a robotics team that counts as an afternoon activity in place of a sport. So we have offerings for everyone who are interested. Another shot of our team there. And then our traditional art classes are also in this space. So here's an art studio, students working on a painting together, it looks like. And you can see a lot of the students' artwork is displayed in that space.
对，那么另外呢，对于 Blair 这边学校来说比较特别的项目就是这个创新科技中心哈，刚刚大家能看到了一系列的照片哈。那么这个创新科技中心也是最近这几年才成立的哈，所以刚刚这个 Planka 老师也是说，哎，他当时在学校的时候没有有这个机会哈，所以大家能看到，非常漂亮，非常就是空间设置利用非常好的一个这个建筑哈，大家能看到这边是有非常多的空间，像学校的一些课程啊或者一些会议都可以在这儿去进行。那么刚刚还看到就是我们有专门的这个上这个机器人课的地方哈，机器人。项目呢，在学校不但是有课程，还有它的机器人队。那么刚刚我们呢也能看到呢，它有这个艺术啊，还有陶艺的一些课，都是在这个中心的哈。所以呢是非常棒的，就是学校这边最近新建立的这个建筑，然后很多学校的新的项目和一些会议都是在这边来进行。对，大家也能看到，这个是他们校外的，就是跟校外的就是业内的一些。专门的一些人员进行的一些像这个机器人啊、科技方面的一些项目哈。
Great, thank you, Grace. So next is our Bogle Science Center. This is also recently renovated. I think they completed it 2 years ago in 2020. And our integrated science research program. So here you can see our Bogle space, these new interactive screens with pictures from our classrooms and videos of our student science demonstrations. There's also a lecture auditorium here. And so these are some of our new classrooms, these great laboratory spaces that are very open, and students can move around between the desks and plug in here with these wires. But our integrated science research program is a research-based course that students can take their junior, senior year. It's a 1.5-year course, and students propose their own research topics. And if approved by Dr. Abascal, who's our director of integrated science research, students can undergo that research and do actual field work. And so oftentimes they're paired up with a college professor who is doing similar work. And so they're actually doing that research along that professor, getting data, they can be published in papers. And for a lot of students, it ends up being an opportunity for them to build those connections with college professors and help them through the admissions process, because they have this connection with someone at, maybe a school that they're interested in, and maybe they want to continue doing that research. And oftentimes they'll reach out to the professor and say, I'm really interested in coming to your school. And then the professor will vouch for them because they want to continue that work.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a couple more shots.
那么另外一个非常独特的项目就是学校的这个科学中心哈。那么科学中心这边很多课程都是这种综合性的哈，并不是就是交叉学科的一个学习。那么特别刚刚也提到了，就是学校这边对于11年级、12年级的学生，你是有这样的一个机会能去做这种相应的就是科学方面你自己去想要研究的一些方向哈。当然这个是要通过学校的就是他的主管的老师的一个就是批准的哈。但是你自己的这个研究方向呢，你可以在11年级、12年级通过1年半的一个时间哈，跟大学的一些教授来一起完成。那么包括呢，你会做一些相关的实验，收集你的数据，甚至你将来都有机会去发表你的这样的一个研究的内容哈。当然这样的一个项目其实对于学生将来申请大学也是非常有帮助的，因为你在这个项目的期间，你可能跟很多教授都能够有非常好的这种了解，跟他一起去学习哈。那必然你将来申请大学的时候，教授也是希望能够录取到你哈。这个呢是对于特别是你对你的这个科学方面哈特别感兴趣，某一个方面有特别的这个钻研的学生来讲，我觉得这个是非常好的一个机会。
So next is our Society of Skeptics program. As I mentioned before, this is one of the longest, I think it is the longest consecutively run lecture series in a high school in the United States. And so here's Dr. Miller, who started our program. He was one of our longstanding history teachers, and he recently retired. But these lectures take place every Tuesday night. So they just had one last night. And every Tuesday night, the students can come together in the CEC forum and listen to a speaker from outside of campus who comes and talks a little bit about their field and their journey and how they got there. And it's an opportunity for students to learn from someone outside of our community and learn how they got to where they are and maybe how they can take a similar path to get to that point. And so usually the format is a 20-minute speech and then a 40-minute lecture, 40-minute Q&A session afterwards. And the Q&A session is really great because students can sort of pick the person's brains, and you get to hear a little bit about what the students are taking away from the speaker. These are not required, but you can see just from this picture, how well attended they are. Our students are really interested in learning about other people and learning a little bit about, sort of successful people in their industries and how they can be like them.
对，那么学校另外一个比较特别的呢，就刚才介绍就是叫Society of Skepticism。其实我觉得呢，这个项目整体上呢，其实是让学生为学生跟外界的，就是可能有更多的这样的联系。 那么每周二的时候呢，他们会有这样的一系列的，其实它就是由一系列的讲座去组成的。每个周二的晚上，他们会请一些专业人士，校园外的哈，并不是在学校的，来自于各行各业的比较成功的这样的一些人士呢，来到校园跟学生进行一个交流。那么大家能看到学生的这种讨论哈，这种专注度，那么其实它是通过这样的一个活动安排，让学生能够了解更多的，就是来自于不同行业哈、不同领域的这些人他们的这种经历，他们的这种人生经历，他们的这种就是去发现自己热情这样的一个过程吧。我觉得这个对于高中生来讲，我觉得还是非常有这样的一个启发的，然后帮助他们树立将来人生方向的一个很好的这样的一个项目。
So effective communication is something that we really emphasize here, particularly with our leadership stories. And so all of our freshmen, and this year it'll be our junior students, record what's called a leadership story. And so they work on these in their English classes. There are videos that they take where they talk about a moment where they displayed leadership. And we do this because as it says here, we believe great leaders are great storytellers. And so we want our students, to be great public speakers and be able to speak eloquently and coherently. And also just an opportunity for them to sort of get in front of a camera and share their life experiences with the greater world. We think that's something that's really important for students to be able to take away from here and be able to communicate effectively so that when they go off into the wider world, they're not shying away from those opportunities. Instead, they can step up and take those opportunities.
Yeah, that's right. 那么另外呢，学校也非常注重这种领导力的，还有这个有效沟通能力哈，因为这个的确是在后面，在大学，在你的职业生涯当中是非常重要的哈。学校也是希望在这个阶段培养学生，能够在你的机会来临的时候，你能够很好的抓住它哈。所以表达自己是非常重要的。所以呢，像他们的新生哈，9年级他们都会去录一个，就是说视频去展示自己在哪些场合下、哪些情况下去展示自己的这种领导力这样的一个方式哈。所以说呢，其实是一个很好锻炼学生这个自我表达，然后呢公共演讲然后沟通能力非常好的这样的一个项目。
There's another example of some students with public speaking there.
Mhm.
So leadership, service, and global engagement. So like I said, leadership is very important to us. And one of those ways that we emphasize that is by having our students get out into the wider world and understanding that there's more beyond just the Blair community. And so we offer international trips, usually during our spring break, so students can go. In the past, we've done some trips to Central America. So you can see here, this was a trip to Cuba that some of our Spanish speaking students took, but really anyone could sign up for the trip and take it. And they worked with a school there in Cuba and played with the kids and helped with their classes. And then we also have our Blair School in Kenya, which has been on pause for the last couple of years, but we're hoping to bring it back. One of our history teachers created a school in Kenya, and every summer he would take a group of students over there and they would help teach the classes with the students, help with the upkeep of the school, and just get outside of the Blair bubble and learn from a new experience. We also have a Blair Day of Service every year towards the end of the year where all of our students go off campus and perform community service projects throughout the Blairstown community and even the wider community from that. So students are free to propose their own projects, or we also have projects ready for them if if they need a little bit of inspiration. So it's a great school bonding activity and a great opportunity for us for some community service.
那么对于学生去锻炼他的这个领导力，其实另外一个途径也是让学生更多的去跟学校外面的世界有更多的接触哈。那么刚刚也提到，包括春假的时候，学校也会安排非常多的这种 文化哈这种这个旅行，像他们会去中美洲啊，像前面看到的一个图片是他们去古巴哈，然后呢，当然在每一年他们在就是学期结束之前呢，学生也会在这个就是学校周边的社区做非常多的这样的一个社区服务的一些活动和安排哈，我觉得都是通过这样的一个参与，让学生能够更好的去了解社区，也锻炼他们在就是更大的社区里面如何去就是可以去跟别人去接触哈，那么也是培养他们回馈社会哈，成长为将来就能够给社会带来更多积极正面影响的这个人吧。
Our community and school traditions. So our community is really important to us. You know, our students knowing each other and feeling comfortable in the space that they all share together. And one of the ways we do that is our larger school tradition. So this you'll see here on move-in day, you'll be welcomed by a crew of current Blair Bucks who are excited to see you and help you move on to campus. The year always starts off with convocation, and so you see here students carrying all different flags from the countries that they've come from. So, you know, we really want to celebrate our international students and the diversity of our community. Here's our soap slide from our community weekend. So the first 2 weekends of the year are community weekends, and students aren't allowed to leave campus. And so they're here and they're participating in all these activities here on campus to get to know each other and become a part of the community before they go off and you know, go back home. So that was our soap slide. This is Kontiki. So every dorm, this is another part of our community weekends. Every dorm has to make a boat, and they're given duct tape and cardboard, and they have to get across one of our lakes in this makeshift boat here. And so you can see some girls showing off their work there. These are just examples of our weekend activities here. Some fireworks they had a couple years ago. This is International Weekend. So this is usually in January. And again, it's another opportunity to celebrate the diversity of our community. So you see all this food here, and it's very well attended. So students set up tables and bring food from their cultures and get to share and talk a little bit about that with their peers and with the rest of the Blair community. And here's an example of Petty Day. So every November, the Petty School is our big rival. And so we play Petty in all of our fall sports on one day. And we keep track of which team wins the most games. So then at the end, there's a big trophy ceremony. There's a big celebration. We have a whole week leading up to it of pep rallies and pranks and theme days. So it's just a great opportunity for school spirit, and you can see a lot of that going on in this picture here. Mm-hmm. And then this is one of our formal dances. We have the winter formal dance where that's in the dining hall, and you see, I think it was movie themed that year. So they really deck out the dining hall, and students have an opportunity to get dressed up and have a nice meal with their classmates. And then finally, this is our headmaster's week. So in February, the school is divided into 4 teams. It's kind of like Harry Potter, and every student is assigned a team. And after classes, you participate in games that can earn points for your team. And so we keep track of that over the course of the week. And they can be anything from, you see tug of war here. There's Oreo stacking contests. There's math competitions, spelling bees. So really all over the place. And another, you know, nice opportunity for our community to sort of come together and bond. And at the end of it all, there's a talent show. And then whatever team wins, they have a big celebration on stage. There's a trophy that team gets, and they get bragging rights as well.
Sounds a lot of fun. 对，刚刚学校老师其实讲了非常多学校的一些活动哈，我觉得这些活动都是就是非常好的展示了Blair 学校它这种社区的一种氛围哈，因为它非常看重社区的这个大家在一起的，就是这种紧密的这样的社区的氛围，所以活动比较多，然后也有一些非常多的传统，像包括刚刚看到的第一张图片，就是他们在 moving， 就是学生第一天 进入到学校哈，那其他的高年级的学生会帮助你去安顿你就是宿舍呀，然后呢，刚刚看到第二张图片是他们学校的一些，就是这类似于学校一些小型的集会啊，然后那么刚刚看到的还有包括他们有一些比较有意思的哈，像这个用这个肥皂水做的这种小滑梯哈，学生在玩，就是能够看得到还有刚刚这个他是学生呢，他会用自己的这种胶带和这个纸的这种纸板做的这种船，然后做完了以后，你要去横跨过学校的这个它这边有一个就是一个湖啊，就是这些活动是非常非常有意思的。那么学生其实通过这样的活动，其实能够更好的去就是增加彼此的这种情感哈。那么刚刚还看到了，就是他们有这个像前几年做的烟花呀，然后他们在每年的11月份，他会跟 Patty 这边，Patty 呢也是另外一所这个新泽西学校，他们两个学校是竞争学校，所以呢，他们每一年在11月份的时候，他们会有各种这个体育活动的比赛哈，大家能看到也是很有意思。那么这整一周他们会有非常多的这种比赛，然后最后看哪个学校赢的最多。那么还有在冬天的时候，他们会有一个这种比较正式的这种舞会哈，每年有主题，那么学生去按照主题去参加这种舞会啊，像包括他们在2月份的时候还有这个校长周哈。那么在校长周，整个学校分为4个队，然后他们有参加各种各样的这个活动哈，像包括刚才也说到了，像这种拼单词的比赛呀，还有就是各种游戏，然后最终获胜的呢，就是拿分最多获胜的这个小组呢，还有一些这个奖项哈，然后呢，还有各种才艺表演，就是能够看出来学校在整个学年之内，其实安排的活动是非常非常丰富的。但是通过这种活动，我觉得学生之间的这个情感和整个社区的这种关系是更近了。所以呢，就是在这种紧张学习的氛围环境下哈，还能有这种很有意思的一些活动穿插在里面，我觉得是非常非常棒的一个设置。
And finally, our dorm life. So you can see here an example of one of our dorm rooms. So all of our dorms are separated by gender and by grade. And so, for example, we'll have a freshman boys dorm or a junior girls dorm. And so you can see a dorm room here. Every dorm has a common space where students can come together and spend some time. If they just want to get out of their private space and spend it with a group of friends. One of the major things we have here is study hall. So every weeknight, 8 to 10 o'clock, our students have study hall. And for freshmen, that means they give their phones to the person on duty and they're in their rooms doing their homework from 8 to 10. And so it's a quiet time. And as they get older, the limitations become less and less. As sophomores, they can have their phones, still have to be in their room studying. Juniors and seniors, they can kind of go where they want on campus to study, but again, it is a quiet time for students to be doing their work.
对，那么接下来呢，去讲一下学校在住宿方面的一些安排哈。那么学校的宿舍也是按照年级和性别来分开的哈。那么刚刚也看到每一个宿舍里面都是有这个共用的空间哈，能看到学生可以一起去看电影啊，或者是去做一些活动哈。那么每天晚上的8点和10点是学习的时间。那么这个时间呢，对于就是9年级的学生呢是不能够有你的手机的，所以你的手机就会放到宿管老师那边去，就8到10点你要去学习。那么10年级的学生你可以拿你的手机，但是呢你也是一样要在你的房间去学习。那么高年级呢会有自由度更多一些，你可以在学校其他就是地方去学习哈，但是呢，整体上来讲，8点到10点就是学校一个学习的时间，所以基本上都是非常非常安静的哈。
I know I'm running against time here, so I'm going to go quickly through these next couple slides because I want to leave time for Q&A. So these are an example of our afternoon activities. You can see varsity sports. We also have performing arts, orchestra, full orchestra, 3 feeders. So there's also 4 performances a year, and then various clubs on campus that meet throughout the year. So this is an example of our orchestra. And our singers, our feeder program. Here's we have a 9-hole golf course here on campus and golf simulators when the weather is not great. Our tennis courts, and we have an indoor space here as well, indoor turf. Our pool was recently renovated, so here's a shot of our swim team. And then a crew program. The crew program rows on a lake about 10 minutes away from campus, and we just built this new great crew facility where they can row indoors. These tanks are filled with water and are meant to simulate being out on the lake.
Well, great facility。对，刚刚学校老师说也是我们时间可能会比较紧张了哈，所以关于学校的这个活动这边也做了大概的一些介绍。活动学校的这个俱乐部呀，还有体育项目，各种活动安排非常非常多。大家能看到刚刚提到的，像这个这是音乐呀、戏剧，然后还有呢就是高尔夫项目，他们自己还有室内的这种模拟的。天气不好的时候，你可以在室内就是模拟高尔夫的那个地方去练习高尔夫。那么刚刚还说这个有室内的这种就是运动场地哈，那么还有呢，他们的游泳馆也是最近新去装修的。另外呢，学校的这个划船项目也非常强，他们的因为它周边是有这样的一个设施的哈，大家能看到它还有这个室内划船的这个训练但是呢，10分钟不远的地方就有河，他们是有这个划船项目的，就是学校的这种项目设置还是非常多的，而且他前面也讲了，每个学生都是要求要参加这个体育项目的哈，我觉得非常好。这是室外的这个网球馆网球场，这是室内的，天气冷的时候可以在室内进行这样的运动。
And then very quickly through our application process. So you would submit an inquiry, and this is all located on our website. You would submit an inquiry, and that sends you more information. Then you would submit a student questionnaire, which are short essays, a transcript from your current school. We are test optional for the SSAT, so students can take that, and if they do well, they can send their score in, or if they don't want to take it or don't do as well as they hope, we just ask that they send a third recommendation. You can see here from their science or history teacher, in addition to the 2 that are required, which are math and English.
OK， 对，那么对于申请这个流程稍微讲一下哈。那么其实很多家长可能也都知道了哈，学校这边申请的大概的一个流程就是包括成绩单、提交文书。那么今年呢，学校这边 SSAT 还是可以提交的。如果说你没有分数或者你不想提交你的分数的话呢，唯一的一个额外需要提交的就是你的第3封推荐信除了数学和英语以外，你要提交一个科学或者历史的一个推荐信这是整体的申请的流程。
And then here's the timeline. So obviously, if you're here, you've probably done some of this, exploring the website. And we invite everyone to do a campus tour. If you can't make it to our campus, we also provide virtual tours and then interview and visit. So in addition to all those application materials, we also require every student to have an interview. And so that can be scheduled via Zoom if you contact our office, or obviously you can come to campus, do an in-person tour and an in-person interview. Complete your application. You can see here January 15th, applications are due. March 10th is our school decision date, and April 10th is our family decision date.
对。那么时间点上呢，就是现在学校已经开始了这个面试和访校这样的一个安排哈。那么当然就是截止日期的话呢是1月15号，然后3月10号学校这边出录取结果，然后4月10号以前呢家庭要去进行这个给学校回复哈。所以呢现在这个阶段呢，如果有家长还是想要申请的，还是来得及的。那么只是需要尽快的把各方面的这个资料和流程要走起来了哈。
And then some advice, just be excited about this process. You're shopping for your new school, and your parents are the ones that are going to pay the bill, but you're shopping for that school and finding that place, where you're going to be for the next, at least, 2 years, 2, 3, 4 years. Be authentic, tell your story, don't write about what you think we want to hear, write about who you really are in those essays. So we get a good sense of who you are as a person and what you're interested in, and how you can be a part of the Blair community. Reach out and stay in touch. So I'm sure they're going to provide your information, my information, from this fair. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about Blair, about the admissions process.
Mhm.
And we really do invite you to come to campus. Obviously it's difficult with the travel restrictions and whatnot, but it's a great, hopefully you could see in the pictures, it's a great space for students to come and study and live. And so if you can, we would highly encourage you to come schedule a visit here on our campus.
嗯哼，对，所以整个的申请流程当中呢，也是给出几个小的建议哈。那么学生这边呢，就是包括你的文书啊，一定要去真实的表达你自己哈。然后呢，也是学校这边的活动也去多参加，多跟学校保持联系哈。当然这些方面对于我们自己的学生哈，我们都会协助家长做相关的这样的一个安排哈。当然还有访校哈，当然我们今天来的家长也是很多都是在美国当地的家长哈，那访校肯定是要来的。那如果是您在中国地区没办法访校的话呢，我们就进行线上的一些沟通和交流，这些都没有问题的。
And that's it. Thank you. I know I went a lot over what was expected, but thank you all for your attention and see we have a lot of questions here in the chat. So thank you for your engagement as well. And again, please come and visit Blair Academy and reach out if you have any questions.
Okay, sure. Yes, we. So let me check if there's any question we wanted to answer, so we can just give like 1 or 2 minutes if your time
Yeah.
allows. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
let me check. Okay, kind of like a student's daily life look like how many times they're gonna do. I know most of the class is gonna be on campus, but will they have
Right.
the chance to do some field trip, things like that?
Yeah. So daily life classes start at 8:30 and end at 3:15. Students usually have about 4 or 5 classes in a day, and obviously there's breaks for lunch. Students usually have a free block in the middle of the day, and then there's a school meeting, like I mentioned, or chapel, which is a speaker from on campus. Students do have the opportunity to get off of campus as well. You saw that we're an hour from New York, and so we really like to use that location. There will be trips to art museums or trips to theaters to watch plays, and so there's opportunities for that. And then we also have a J-term program where 2 weeks during our winter break, students take one course, and it's a pass-fail course, and it's kind of an elective. They can choose what topic, and there's all different topics ranging from board games to Beyonce, the history of wood making. So a lot of really cool topics, and some of those come with trips. I know one of them is going down to Washington, D.C. Because they're studying politics, and another one I think was about canoeing, and so they're going to go out on the river and actually canoe, which is pretty cool.
That's interesting. 对，刚刚因为家长在群里有问他那个时间啊，每天学校的具体的安排，那么像校外的一些活动安排哈，那么刚刚也说了，学校是8:30到3:15，中间是有午餐，还有一个自由的一个这个就是一节课，那么你可以做你自己想要做的事情。那么刚也提到哈，一些校外的这种实践活动也非常多，像刚才提到的，像这个冬假的时候啊，2周期间，他们有些生可以选一个学校的，就是2周的一个项目叫 G-term 啊，它的时间比较短，但是它的内容涵盖的比较多，从就是你可能流行音乐到你的这个政治，甚至到一些各方面的这种就是主题都有。那么学生在参加这样的活动的时候，他都是有这样的机会去进行这个实践的哈。那么包括他们会有专门的这旅行去华盛顿 DC 哈，去进行这种实地的这种考察哈。当然前面也提到了他们的春假呀各种就是国际的这种旅行都是有的哈。所以这边也是比较多的。So yeah, thank you so much for spending time. Really give a lot of information about Blair. It's really just, a great community with all these events and how, student-centered philosophy. I think it's just fantastic presentation. We really, thank you for your time. Because of the, time limits today, we're going to just, wrap up here. But we are looking forward to, continue talk with your office about, our students in this application season. But thank you so much for your time. I know it's a busy season for your office as well.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. And like I said, obviously we couldn't answer all those questions today, but feel free to reach out and let me know. I'd be happy to answer them for you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank
Have a
you.
good
Take
day.
care.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.